My name is Arianna, and I'm 11 years old. I go to school at a Montessori school right across the street from here. Every 2 years, my school goes to MMUN, which stands for Montessori Model United Nations, where we children, grades 4th through 8th, work on real global problems affecting our world today. I was on the Advancement of Women Committee, representing the United Kingdom. In the 3 days I was at the UN, I feel like I really learned more about how the UN works and how a resolution is created and how it passes. There was a ton of people there, I think over 3,000. So if you could guess, it was pretty chaotic, especially in the elevators. My classmates and I had been studying for this for months, and even though I didn't realize it, we had actually been preparing for the entire school year. It was an amazing experience for me, and I can't wait for 7th grade when I get to go again. During MMUN sessions, you listen to speech after speech, hoping to find someone to write a resolution with you. Luckily, my partner and I found a few groups that we liked. One girl had caught my attention. She was a very good speaker, and I think she had blue hair. But it wasn't what she looked like that caught my attention. It was what she said. She had recently witnessed a women's march. This march featured women marching for their rights. It was a huge event that many kids and teachers from my school attended. In fact, I remembered some of my friends telling me about the march that I really wish I could have gone to. This girl's speech really inspired me. She was only about 11 years old, same as me, but already seemed to have taken part in so much. The MUN trip was great, and I even made some friends from different countries, which I've never really been able to do before because I don't travel a lot. When I was preparing for this, I found 2 topics that really struck me. The first one is, many women around the world have witnessed violence by the age of 18. And the second one is, this is one you may already know, women are not paid as equal as men. One of many things that these 2 topics had in common was that not enough people speaked up about them. For example, a woman's boyfriend or husband will violently hurt them, and only 10% of them will go to the police for help, and only 40% of them will go for help at all. I want to make sure all women and girls feel safe in their own homes. Also, 2 to 4 million women just in America get abused a year. I want to lower that number to 0 per year. Something else. Now for the equal pay part. I want you to remember what your first job was. Maybe you're a waitress or a waiter at a restaurant. Well, one of your colleagues with the same job was probably the opposite gender as you. Well, did you know that a woman waitress earns only 77 cents every dollar a male waiter earns? These 2 problems are some of the world's biggest problems regarding women today, yet only a few people speak up about them. This needs to stop, and now. I have a dream, not to Martin Luther King. I have a dream that all women are treated equally and never abused. I believe we can get there one step at a time. Something that would help would be to name some organizations that help, such as Because I'm a Girl, UN Women, and Refuge. Refuge is one of those sites where women can post their stories on being abused and how they spoke up and worked through it. If you looked it up, you'd be surprised on how many stories there were. There was even a few by children. All of these sites were very useful and informative. I even found some children's books about these problems. Sweet and a fun way to learn. The last site I found helpful was Equal Pay Day. Equal Pay Day is another wonderful website that I used during my research. This website informed me that there is such thing as Equal Pay Day, which is conveniently this Tuesday, April 4th. On this coming Tuesday, wear red to symbolize how women are in the red with equal pay. The date changes every year, depending on how big the wage gap is. I'm inviting you to check out these sites so you can learn more about this growing problem and what we can do to help men and women speak up about violence and equal pay. But if you were getting abused, you may feel alone, scared, and afraid, and probably pretty confused, especially if it's one of the family members being cruel, because you love them and you don't want to get them into too much trouble. And awareness marches and protests are a great way to spread the word, as long as they're peaceful. When writing this speech, even I had to speak up. I had tons of different adults and friends with tons of different ideas, but I couldn't use them all. I had to speak up to my dad, mom, school teachers, school principal, my friends, and now finally all of you. I'm envisioning a world where women are paid equally and never, ever abused. I believe we should not be defined by our gender. Thank you.